What's up, boys? How are you?
What's up, man?
I had a sneaky suspicion that Tanner was going to do this shit.
Anytime I ask Large for dirt on a guest that he may know, it's not like I could stop in for a few minutes. It's like, send me a fucking link. I want to bury this person.
Right.
Who else did we do this to?
I don't even remember.
Large popped. Was it for Willie? Did he pop in for a few minutes for
Yeah,
Willie?
I think it might have been.
It was
when
Willie.
on.
Might have been the last time I saw Willie.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Fucking
say.
Barstool Breakfast needs to come back, asshole.
Yeah. You're preaching to the choir, my man. I'm free.
Yeah.
I can't even say I'm shocked, Tanner. This is right up your alley. Anytime I'm looking for help, you'll always bury me for Large on Twitter and stuff.
Here's the thing. When I first time I ever called in a serious, Large actually followed me before I followed him. I followed you for like 4 years, interacted with you for all these times, never followed me till we joined that Clubhouse Grubhouse, dude.
Dude, I felt so bad about that too because, I there's people I just think I follow. My producer Kyle of We Gotta Believe, Mets fan, like an actual person like that I know and I consider a friend. I was like going through his profile one day to like look up a tweet and I was like, oh shit, I don't even follow him. And then I follow him, I just go about my day. Like 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, what a big day at Clover Portfolio. I'm like, oh, Kyle, Jesus Christ, man, I didn't fucking know. I thought I followed you, Tanner. I had no goddamn. Once you sent me that cheese, the slicer, we were basically family from that day on. I can't believe I didn't hit the
You know, that's what I thought. Like I said, hell, even Chaps. I mean, like he's ugly, but he followed me.
He's not a good person, though. We know that about Chaps. But nonetheless.
Well.
Is he in the fucking room, too? Is he going to pop up next?
He's never came on.
Gonna throw an ex-girlfriend at me? What's coming on next, Tanner? I can't trust you as far as I can throw it.
Let's talk about your ex-girlfriends, Clem.
Clem, you're like Midwestern nice, but you're from New York. I have a really hard time believing that. Like Large, he's East Coast asshole, but you're like Midwest nice.
I'm in the burbs, so I feel like I just spent my whole life in the burbs. I don't even think I'm like a nice guy, but people say that about me. They call me like a big teddy bear. I don't know. I have to say, like my dad, if I am like my dad, which I don't know if I am or not, because it's just like life. But like that guy is like the nicest person I've ever met. So if I am anywhere as close to him, then I guess so. But I don't know. It's just how I've always been. It's like I think just people like Large is just not fun to be around. Let's call it what it is.
I think one of the things is that you only scratch the surface with some of these people, but you can tell that there's a select few people within the Barstool universe, particularly. I think any office universe, microcosm, whatever you want to call it. But you see a guy like Trent, and you could just tell that he's kind of a salt of the earth guy. There's a dude who does the tech stuff for us, tech guy Andrew. And you can tell, like, tech guy Andrew is just like, just the salt of the earth guy. And the rest of the people are suspect, right? Like, everyone is just kind of suspect. You don't know which way they're going to go. And I think Clem is just one of those salt of the earth guys. And then the more that I get to know him, get to know his wife, get to know the kids, like, get to see the whole dynamic. Because Podfather's, like, for example, today, Clem was a little bit under the weather. He's a little bit under the weather, and it was worse in the morning. I think you sound better now, Clem.
He was fine till you came on.
Yeah, but we devolved into just talking about what are we talking about today? It was cicadas.
Cicadas, a lot of cicada talk.
Yeah, and then like it just kind of went, sideways. And I think when you go sideways with content with people, you get to really see how they are. I didn't realize how truly angry Smitty was as a person. Like how he can really internalize some anger towards things until I did Twisted with him last week. And I was like, whoa, did you just say cunt? And it was one of those things where, you really get to do that. And that's not a dig at all. I mean, I think that passion is what makes him, very good at what he does. So yeah, but Clem is one of those guys. Like I've been around enough, and obviously I'm the oldest guy on this fucking panel again. He is.
Marco's up there.
He's the guy. Yeah,
Marco.
I still got him. So he's one of the guys that not necessarily a foxhole guy, because I mean I've seen bigger arms on a clock, but he's one of those guys that you can kind of trust as a friend and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're East Coast nice, which is just like a very, very rare brand, Clem. But what do you like? Do you have to do 3G to put up with assholes like Large when you go into the office? because you're around some
Do not.
aggressive personalities, and like I've been called a nice guy before or a softie, whatever. Like, are you out of your element when you're in situations like that?
No way, man. This could just be me, but everyone, I get hugs from everybody. Everybody is lovely when they're around me. You have to remember, like, my first friend at this company, the guy who put me on, is KFC, who's the hater of the year for 10 years running, Mr. Mush, the most negative man in the world. So it's like my like introduction to Barstool was like the heart of black. So that's why like Frank was right and all this kind of nonsense with Frank. It's like
How you doing,
I've
Clem?
seen worse than Frank. He's not that. Is that my guy Finn?
Yeah.
This
Finn,
is my
come
guy.
on, buddy.
You want to talk about
Dude,
nice
this
guys.
is the plumber.
Off the six-pack.
This is the guy who made me cry with Large when
can't
Large
hear
was
him,
telling his story. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Finn.
So he's the guy. He's the warrior. Just cut open as a kid. That was when he was only 6 weeks old. And went in there, did like some real deal surgery on him. This kid's been through a lot. So it's his first year of freshman high school. Freshman high school, freshman football, and they had to do something where for his high school they have to do 9 hours of community service over the 4 years that they're at high school. And so we got the letter at the end of this one. Finn did 148 hours this summer. So he's just one that,
God damn.
So that's beyond, me. Obviously, it's Annie to a degree and whatnot. So he's one of those kids who's not smart enough to have gotten 10 different letters, so he can sold them to 10 different kids and get their shit all done. But this is Finn. That's the guy that I talk about all the time.
Already a better person than you.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Well, that's the whole thing. I said in the podcast with Clem, I think, no one's going to be the athlete that Mick is. Not that he's a great athlete, he's the best athlete in the family. No one will be the entertainer that Bridge is. Whatever I am and whatever Annie is, we are what we are. Nobody's going to be the person that this kid is. All right, get the fuck out of here. Come on. I love you, pal. Big day tomorrow. First day of high school. I love you, pal.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's Clem's guy. That's Clem's favorite dude, right? I mean, first day you called dibs on Finn.
First time I don't know if it was when I met her.
Ride
Just
or
talking
die.
about, I go, Finn's my dude. Like that's just my guy. I just knew it from the jump. And this is the worst thing about it with Large too, is we're just busting his chops. His kids are like basically what I aspire to make my kids like as they're older. They're super respectful, super nice. They say hi to all the guests when they come in. They have conversations. They put down their devices. It's like a goal to strive for as a parent. And trust me, my kids are not on that track right now. I have 2 great kids that I love. They are nowhere near McCarthy on the terms that they're on right now. If their mother maybe gets her hands into them a little more, she can get them on that path. But Large has raised 3 absolute gems. So
His
I hate
daughter
to give
is
them-
on one of the most popular Netflix TV series of all time, for God's sakes.
Yeah, she
Jeez,
just got
people-
back from doing another scene with that Sex and the City thing. She's on a heater, $1,000. What's up?
She's gonna be making more money than
But she
you
starts.
soon, right?
She
Put that
starts.
in the college fund.
Yeah, if it makes it. She's but again, they're back to school tomorrow, so all that stuff's going to come to a grinding halt because right now, and that's my new French bulldog. I fucking hate this dog.
She's a
That
bitch.
dog, just through your social media.
Oh God, hate her. But yeah, so I love whenever you guys when good people talk to good people, and you guys are my favorite, and obviously Clem's my favorite. Fuck you. And Clem's one of my favorites too. So it's I just did a swipe up for Simply Safe, so I got the blow gun next to me. Clem, so I think I'm gonna shoot this little bitch with the fucking blow gun now. That's what I've never done, but since I got it right here, I'll tell you what's weird about these things.
Flagged on YouTube.
You sick
On
fuck.
top of these, the darts, they give you these plugs, like just these little. I got so many weapons, you guys know. So they give you these little plastic plugs. So if you can, hold on, Blue, you can get them.
If you dart this dog on this episode,
There's plugging.
That's a problem.
Just got her on her side. She will not be bothering us anymore.
she's tranquilized. Well done.
The
hold on,
equivalent
Large.
of a cop
I got it.
sandbagging somebody.
I gotta tell you, hearing your voice through my fucking ears right now is something I have missed. Is what has to happen for Barstool Breakfast to come back? Just tell us what to do.
Yeah, I think the fate of Barstool Breakfast kind of lays in the lap probably of Willie. I think he's one of those
Okay.
guys that when they took the studio away, they took the station away. He was hired for that. That was his thing. So to ask him to pivot, whether or not he has the bandwidth or the motivation to do it, is up to Willie. Like I was able to pivot, you know what I mean, and do all this other stuff to a degree, and I should be doing more, and I will be doing more. Like I have a bunch of stuff coming up. But, with Willie, it's tough. And then, so can it exist on another platform? They're screwing around with this new platform called Sling. And I think what we were doing is we were being held off to see if the Yak was working out on YouTube. And I don't think it is. Like, I think those guys do a great job, but I don't think it's like that landslide thing. So I have a lot of regrets. Not a lot of regrets. I have a lot of frustration with the way that stuff went down. I thought I got affected by it more than most. And then if the thing with Willie doesn't work out, I think it affects me more than most too, because I was the one who had like that 1-2 punch with him. Like Clem is sort of that guy who David told me very, young into my career, Kevin and Fights, PFT and Big Cat, Rhea and Fran, like there's these 1-2 punches, these dynamic duos. Clem has Clem and me, Clem and Robbie, Clem and KFC. Like he's one of those guys that's a little bit more universal. But with me, I thought it was going to be me and Willie
Utility guy.
doing everything, and then now I just don't know where his head is at. He had 2 kids and lost a parent during the pandemic. I think he got COVID twice because he got the Delta just a couple of weeks ago. So, we opened a restaurant that almost closed down like during the pandemic. So it's not like, he's been doing nothing, but it's been a frustrating time for him. So to answer your question, I'm here. Like I'd be willing to do anything. Really, I'd do it with fucking smoke signals if they let me, but it just doesn't. And Patty moved into production. Oh no, to not to production, to content. Patty's no longer production. I don't have him as a producer. So where's the producing come from? Well, maybe Jetski sets up. Jetski is now doing Troops' thing at soccer along with Za. Like everyone's pivoting around. So I don't know where it. I'd like to do it on a Friday. Obviously
a 3 Chief Friday with Large and Clem.
Yeah,
I would do
Friday.
just once a week. A 3 Chief Friday with Large and Clem. Started off at like 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You're on 3 Chief. Oh, I would love that.
Well, Clem is one of we're gonna do. I have to do I'm in bed with the DAZN people a little bit for some fights, and Clem was nice enough to say that he'd come in. I can't get to London to do the Joshua fight on September 25th because there's a 14-day quarantine. They don't want to do the same thing that happened to Jetski when he got there and had to stay there for a couple of weeks. So we're gonna do a fight watch in the city, which no one's gonna go to. It's 3:00 on a fucking Saturday during college football season, September 25th. So Clem's like, I know we have the Giants tailgate the next day. I'll come in. The cocky little cocksucker said, you can tell people I'm coming. That way I get other people to do it, like to jam from his popularity. That was a fucking big Clem. Oh, look at the Clem moment. First one I.
Hey man, I know this company works. It's like, oh, do I want to go? Well, Clem's gonna he doesn't have to say 3 names, and it's like if they just say, all right, well, if he's gonna go, I'll go. I'm just trying to be a buddy here. And you came all the way up to fucking take me to my vasectomy during a pandemic, so I figured
some of the best content of the pandemic was the
By
vasectomy. That was fucking hilarious.
Shaved me like a baby. I looked like a baby down there by the time the guy's done.
I don't want to tell you. You look like a baby before I shaved you down. To be honest, your wife must have doll hands.
He licked you clean though. From what I heard, I heard he licked you clean after all that mess.
It was like a corpse in a cheese factory, fucking Tanner. Holy shit! All right, guys, I'm gonna get back to doing.
You got a groomer.
I got the Twisted History Cannibals. I'm finishing up now. I just want to come on and bust Clem's balls. I'll talk to you guys soon. Is that cool?
Thank you.
For sure.
You're welcome from that contract, man. I dragged you to it.
I'll need you again next May, Clem. Keep your powder dry. All right, see you guys. Have a great day.
Hey, brother.